This is the A to Z podcast. Expert insights on leadership, business, real estate, investing, and growth.
A lot of people think that they're not negotiators. As a result, they leave a lot of stuff on the negotiation table, their own stuff. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a little bit of context about why we should all put a hat as negotiators, at home, in the workplace, and in the marketplace. And then three mistakes that we should all avoid. Think about this. When you go out on a daily basis, you are negotiating. Before you even go out to the world, at home, you may be negotiating. You're going to be negotiating about who's going to throw out the trash, who's going to take the kids to school. Of course, in the home setup, sometimes you may not negotiate. You would say, let them have it their own way, which means you lose, they win. That's okay. But if you resent, that's not good for the relationship. You should have known how to negotiate when you feel like the deal is not fair, which means you are a negotiation away to handle so many resentions that you have at home. The same thing in the workplace. We go to work, we work hard, we believe that we need to be promoted, we need to get raised, we need to be assigned to some projects that we believe we deserve, and we're not getting them. The reaction would be resentment. And we think that our boss should have known that we're qualified to be promoted, get that project, and get that raise. I sometimes meet professionals. They tell me that, Izzy, I just don't like working here. And I ask them why. Because they're not giving me a raise. Or I deserved a promotion and they didn't give it to me. They gave it to her or him. And I know I'm better than them. I always ask this. Did you request for the promotion, for the raise, for the project? In most cases, nah. And I said, why not? Because she or he should have known that I qualify for this. I deserve this. I have what it takes. And I always remind them, look, you don't know what's going on in the heads of your boss. Maybe they think you're not ready. They may think like you may not be interested with this promotion. You don't know until you talk to them. And of course, I tell them when you go out there, don't be entitled. Don't go out there and say, I need this promotion or I need this project. No. You go out there after doing your homework. Let me give you an example. Let's say that I need a promotion. First of all, I want to study that promotion, that place where I want to go, and identify some of the gaps, the challenges, some of the issues I could fix, the kind of competitive advantage, experience that I have for that position. And then I make sure that I am more than ready to leave the current position. Sometimes leaders don't promote you because they don't see a successor. Yes, they know if you are promoted, you could do the job and you deserve it, but they are concerned about who gonna succeed you. And therefore, before you go out there and pitch how much ready you are and the competitive advantage that you have about that promotion, why not do a little bit of homework? Raise successes, create systems, and make yourself irrelevant where you are. And when you go out to pitch for your boss, you're going to tell them, look, at this spot, I've done what I should do. I've created this, I've done this, and I'm not actually relevant here anymore. However, if I fill that gap that I see, it's good for the greater good. It's good for the company. I can serve my company, my organization better there. Believe me, many leaders would immediately promote you. They see a partner, they see someone who is ready. First of all, communication wise, the more you are ready for the promotion, you have that level of communication, the kind of communication I'm talking about. You're not going out there and wing it, saying, I need this promotion because I have been here for 20 years, because, so and so have been promoted before me. No, 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 no. You communicate and negotiate. If you put me in this position, here are the things I've done here. These are the things I could do. And if they see the cost benefit analysis and the benefit outweighs promoting you, they'll promote you. Once we have the context, and once we understand that we all negotiate at home, in the workplace, and in the marketplace, we're going to talk about the three mistakes. But remember this, next time when somebody is telling you to throw out the trash, and if you don't like it, remember, you can negotiate. Or if somebody, a colleague, a friend, says, let's go lunch to this place, don't resent if you don't like that place. Remember, you have to put your negotiation hat. You start to negotiate. You could say, thank you for proposing to go lunch in this place. I know that place. They don't have vegans, and I am a vegan. But I know this place, which has both vegans and non-vegan food. Let's go there. You pitch, you negotiate. Why would you resent your friends and colleagues? Bring it up. The more you negotiate, the more you develop the skill. People even don't think that you're negotiating with them. It becomes natural. They understand that you always make your point and pitch whatever you think is right. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. But if you don't try, what happens? You always lose. Now let's talk about these three mistakes. The first one is neglecting the fact that the most important aspect of the communication is the negotiation is before the actual negotiation. When we have workshops on negotiation, we create scenarios, and one of the opportunities we're going to give to participants is, okay, before the negotiation, I want you to go and build coalition. Before the actual practice of negotiation, go out there, talk to other parties, and see whose position aligns with you, and then build this coalition. When you come to the negotiation table, you have strong positioning. If you don't take the negotiation, the mini negotiation before the actual negotiation, you are losing a lot. Pro negotiators, what do they do? The negotiation is over before the actual negotiation. They already know what kind of positions everybody is at, and they already know that they have partners, and they know that they're going to get what they want. They're not leaving anything on the negotiation table. Sometimes you go for negotiation, you don't know their bottom line, their walking price. You go there, you negotiate, they have a position, it's too far from you, and tension arises, emotion flares, and everything falls apart. But if you have taken, of course, you can take this seriously. Some organizations and teams, they actually hire someone to investigate the positions of the other party. They want to know their bottom line. They come close to the bottom line, but they don't go far because the other party going to walk away. They want to know the strength and the limitations of the other party before they come for the actual negotiation. But at least for you in the workplace, in the marketplace, forget about doing research, investigation, forget about that. At least you want to do a little bit homework. At please pick up the phone and call them. I'm looking forward to this conversation with you. I want you to know that whatever happens, I promise you that our friendship continues, our partnership continues. And I'm always open to hear if you have any concerns before we meet for the conversation. Some people, they may tell you their bottom line, they're non-negotiables. Now you have time to share yours if you want, but at least you know from where they're coming from and you prepare accordingly. The second mistake that you should never make is to let the other party set up the negotiation table. You might have seen this in negotiations at the country's level, big organizations level. You hear them saying, no, we cannot do the negotiation in this country. No, 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 so and so cannot be part of that negotiation. No, 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 we're not allowing so and so to be the mediator. Why do you think they care about that? Are they just being a pen in the rear? No, they understand that the setting is very, very important. You may lose leverage. You may be positions disadvantageously. That's why you want to make sure that when you do negotiation, even little negotiations, make sure that you do it in a neutral place. Let's be done in a neutral place and mediated by or facilitated by a truly neutral party. Otherwise, you're going to lose the game. I can tell you some serious issues that you need to know. Maybe this may not apply to you, but in some organizations, if you don't know about this, what they do is they invite you to their place, they bug the place. There is a glass, you don't know who is beyond that glass, but there could be a professional, a psychiatrist or something, psychologists that are studying you, and also the negotiators, they have earpiece, which means they are advised by the people beyond the glass. You're there, you don't know what's happening, but they're advised. Give her this offer. And then they read your face, your emotions, your nonverbals, and they may say, oh, you push the button, take it back, take it back. Or they will say, oh, she immediately accepted it. Now maybe undercut that. You don't know what's going on because you went to a place where it's configured to disadvantage you. What you want to do? Find a neutral place, set it up to be neutral. Sometimes you see on TV, you see a leader invites another leader and give them the smaller chair. You think that's just casual? No. What they're doing is they're putting them in a smaller chair. The host is sitting on a big chair. Immediately, psychologically, consciously or unconsciously, the leader who's sitting on the smaller chair thinks that it doesn't have cards, it doesn't have advantage. These are the kind of games some organizations play. Don't play these games, but know that the game is there. You need to know this could happen to you, and therefore you need to be aware of the setting. The setting is important. Like the mini negotiations are important before the actual negotiation. Let's talk about what happens after the negotiation. Now, this is about the attitude that you should have. Whenever you go for negotiation, what kind of attitude do you have? You want to win, them lose, or do you want to make it win-win? I know in at home, sometimes it's you lose, they win because these are loved ones. You say, okay, let them get the way they want. You just lose and let them win. But that doesn't work in the workplace. But some workplace, I'm 100% sure, they want you to go out and do whatever it takes to win in the expense of the other party. They tell you, I don't care whatever you do, go out and win for us. And win-win is not a win for them. I know there are cutthroats. very aggressive, risk-taking teams and organizations. But I'm not a fan of those, but they exist. And if you work in that kind of environment, I'm sorry. But I'm talking about win-win. If you have the mindset to make it a win-win, it should be genuine so that the other party also believe in it. What I've seen in negotiations is that you negotiate and you know you got advantage, but the other party, maybe that's their blind spot, maybe they don't have the experience, maybe they didn't have the full picture. They say yes, they hug you, they're happy about that negotiation, they leave. After a while, when they do research, when they talk to other people, they realize that you cheated. They believe that they were led into somewhere that was not win-win and advantages for them. A couple of things could happen. One could be they cancel the deal, or maybe they come back and renegotiate, or they resent you and they will never, ever negotiate with you. They don't trust you. They don't come back again to negotiate. That's why, even if you think it's a win win, and the other party may feel it may not be win win, do whatever you have to do. Go the extra mile to make it up to them and make it truly win win. If you avoid these three mistakes, you become a great negotiator at home, so that you have good relationship with your loved ones, you're not resenting, you're also getting what you want in a win-win scenario. The same thing in the workplace and also in the marketplace. Life is negotiation. You have to always put your hand. Somebody proposed something, you don't like it, why not negotiate? Why walk away? Why resent? You have something, you gave it to people. Give them the chance to negotiate with you. I love when people negotiate to me. What I hate is I share something, I propose something in front of me, they appear like they're happy, and then they disappear. Most probably they didn't like the deal. Rather than coming to negotiate with me, they disappear. I hate that. But I love people when they negotiate with me, because indirectly they are giving me permission to negotiate with them. Going forward, my encouragement for you is, on a daily basis, you are putting a hand to negotiate. Develop your skill sets to negotiate for win-win deals. Remember, this skill set is an advanced form of competency in leadership and entrepreneurship. If you don't know how to negotiate at a higher level, especially with savvy investors, partners, and clients, you're cooked. You need to know how to negotiate. As you deal with these high caliber people, you give them something, believe me, they always negotiate. If they find you weak and you don't know how to negotiate, they're going to take advantage of you. If you have a team, organization, and if you want to develop the negotiation skill set and mindset of your people, please reach out. We can design and deliver a workshop to empower your people to become successful win-win negotiators. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to see you with another video. Bye-bye.